Now, I'd argue that no airport in the US has had a tougher year than Newark Liberty. Chronic congestion, air traffic controller shortages, and system outages have all dealt significant blows to Newark's operations in 2025. So I'd first like to briefly pause and acknowledge not just Newark's controllers, but all air traffic controllers nationwide for their continued dedication to safe operations, especially coming out of the dreadful government shutdown. But in today's video, you're going to witness something almost unheard of at Newark, an on-time departure, as we fly back from Newark to Chicago on United 737-900ER. Good morning from the New Jersey Turnpike as we arrive at Newark ahead of our flight back home. It's a beautiful morning, and I was happy to see Singapore Airlines 21, one of the longest flights in the world, ahead of its departure back to Singapore. Newark Airport recently opened a new rental car center in 2023, which is directly connected to the new Terminal A. Currently, getting between them and the old Terminal A AirTrain station requires a decent 10 to 15 minute walk, and that's because the current AirTrain was built around the old Terminal A and rental car centers, which are now demolished, so it doesn't directly serve the new facilities. However, this will be addressed by the new AirTrain, which will open in 2030, with new stations connecting it not only to Terminal A, but also the new Terminal B. Newark Airport's redevelopment plan will see the demolition of the current 52-year-old Terminal B, which will be replaced with a new version directly connecting it to Terminal A. Apart from various enhancements, Terminal C will remain where it is. Unfortunately, that also means it will remain disconnected airside from the other two terminals. Newark's location across the Hudson from New York City means you get some amazing views of Manhattan both from the terminal and the aircraft. In this shot, you can see both the Empire State Building and One World Trade Center, among other NYC landmarks. In fact, Newark was the original airport serving New York City, having opened in 1928, also making it the first commercial airport in the US. And if it wasn't for Newark, we wouldn't have LaGuardia or JFK airports as we know them today. And that's because back in 1934, then New York City Mayor-elect Fiorello LaGuardia landed at Newark, which by the way is in New Jersey, and refused to get off the aircraft. He famously remarked, "My ticket says New York," and demanded to be flown to an airport in New York. His TWA flight was then flown to Floyd Bennett Field in Brooklyn, where he gave an impromptu press conference urging New Yorkers to support a new airport within the city. 5 years later, LaGuardia Airport opened up, and because it soon became very overcrowded, that necessitated the opening of Idlewild Airport in 1948, which was later renamed to John F. Kennedy International Airport in 1963. As for Floyd Bennett Field, it remained active as a naval station until 1970, but given its proximity to JFK, there was no justifiable use to continue using the field for air traffic, and Floyd Bennett Field reopened as a public park in 1974. Soon enough, it was time for boarding. Gate C-136 offers an awkward view of the plane, but at least you can partially see our 737 today. Next door is a 777 going to Tokyo, which, as you can probably tell by that engine, has suffered a maintenance issue. This 777 would not leave Newark that day, and the flight ultimately departed 5 hours late after its passengers were transferred to a replacement aircraft. I'm seated in 30A this afternoon, and the seats, as usual, are comfortable enough for this short flight. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there are currently 4 types of seats found on the 739s. The former Continental planes have DirecTV. There are some legacy United aircraft with similar seats found on the 757-300s. There is this version you see here, and then of course the brand new Next cabin, which will eventually be found across the entire fleet. Newark Airport has had a tough 2025. Back in April, its ATC systems suffered outages, delaying and canceling hundreds of flights. Furthermore, runway 4 left, 22 right was closed for around 2 months for resurfacing, causing disruptions to flight schedules at an airport whose current inefficient layout already makes it prone to delays. And that's not even to mention the government shutdown that placed an already understaffed and stressed air traffic controller team under even more pressure. Thankfully, 4 left, 22 right has since reopened, and that's where we were departing from this morning. The ATC systems are being updated to prevent future possibilities of outages, and as infrastructure and controller staffing issues continue to affect the airport until renovations are made, flight caps are in place to manage the traffic load. And this morning I was honestly expecting delays for all of those reasons, but as you saw, we pushed back early, had an uninterrupted taxi to the runway, and had a flawless departure. And welcome to Chicago, where we also experienced absolutely zero delays taxiing to the gate, even despite landing on the northernmost runway. I guess today's flawless journey makes sense given it was Labor Day itself, where many flight schedules are reduced, especially considering the day before, the Sunday of Labor Day weekend, is pretty busy and sees large capacity increases. Now, I don't think I'll have as enjoyable of an experience the next time I fly from Newark. I hope I'm wrong. Regardless, I'm excited to see the airport redevelop itself in the coming years, becoming a true world-class hub that the New York City area truly deserves. Thank you so much for tuning in today. While this trip may be over, I've got some exciting stuff on the way soon, so be on the lookout for those videos. Until next time, take care everyone, and I'll hope to see you all again very soon.